Before we get into this video, I would like to thank Rage Cooker for giving me the idea for this battle. Thanks a lot, dude. Also, something else I just want to point out, I will be putting Maul at the same level of power he was at in the Clone Wars series, as I feel it puts him on a more even playing field with his competition. I will also be including his bionic legs, as the ones he had at the end of the series are the same size and strength as his flesh and blood legs. The only exception I will be making is I will be giving Maul his double-bladed lightsaber in this battle, as it is the weapon he is most familiar with, and the saber he used in the Clone Wars was just the same weapon that had been sliced in half. With that said, let's get started. Born in 3699 BBY on the planet Brental 4, Satele Shan was the daughter of Jedi Knight Tasil Shan. After her father gave her away to the Jedi Order, Satele became the Padawan of Jedi Battlemaster Keo Sen Durach. While on a mission in the orbit of Korriban, Satele and her master engaged the Sith Master Vindikin and his apprentice Malgus. Though Satele escaped, Durach was killed by Malgus. Satele then went on to complete her training with Jedi Master Darnalla and was granted the title of Jedi Knight. Satele then went on to serve in the Cold War and led the Republic troops in the Battle of Alderaan. There, she once again battled Malgus, the now Sith Lord, Darth Malgus. Both combatants battled furiously, but in the end, Satele emerged the victor, though Malgus survived. Satele then went on to be granted the title of Grand Master of the Jedi Order and was given a seat on the Jedi High Council. Satele was instrumental in helping guide the man who would become known as the Hero of Tython to the path to Jedi Knighthood. After Emperor Vitiate's defeat at the Hero's hand, Satele and the Supreme Chancellor awarded the Hero of Tython the Republic Star, and Satele granted him the title of Jedi Master. Satele Shan is remembered for being a fierce warrior and a great leader in times of crisis. Darth Maul was a Dathomirian Zabraki Knight brother who was born on the planet Dathomir several decades before the Naboo crisis. After being given to Palpatine, who is secretly the Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Sidious, by a Night Sister named Kania, Maul was trained as a Sith apprentice and assassin. Acting as Sidious's tool of destruction, Maul carried out secret missions for the Dark Lord across the galaxy, ranging from assassinations to infiltrations. Maul's existence was finally revealed during the Naboo crisis, where he was tasked to eliminate Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi and reveal the Sith to the galaxy. Maul killed Qui-Gon Jinn but was cut in half by Kenobi. Although presumed dead, this was not the end for Maul. Through sheer force of will and dark side power, Maul kept himself alive and was transported to Loth Minor. Maul was eventually discovered by his brother Savage Opress during the Clone Wars, being brought to Mother Talzin and then rejuvenated. Maul then took Savage as his apprentice, and the pair wreaked havoc across the galaxy, killing many Jedi and even taking temporary control of Mandalore. Maul's rule was short-lived though, as his former master Sidious appeared and challenged the Zabrak to a duel. Savage was killed and Maul was captured by Palpatine. His reign on the planet ended. Darth Maul's final fate is confirmed to be shown in the upcoming Star Wars comic book series Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir, which at the time of this video has not been released. First, we will compare them physically. While her in-game avatar may suggest differently, Satele Shan is a 59-year-old human and despite her age is in excellent physical condition. She still retains a great deal of flexibility and has no trouble keeping up with younger combatants. Satele was also a capable unarmed combatant, and routinely chained powerful punches and kicks into her lightsaber sequences. Darth Maul is a Zabraki male in his early 30s and is in insanely good shape, no small part to ridiculous levels of self-discipline and physical training. Typical of Zabraks, Maul is tough and has an extremely high pain threshold. Seriously, I could spend an entire video in and of itself talking about the physical hardships this guy has faced. Maul was also a very skilled unarmed fighter, being trained by Sidious to near perfection in Teräs Käsi, which is the art of force-imbued martial arts. Maul's hands and feet were described by Darth Plagueis himself as being just as deadly as his lightsaber. Due to the injuries suffered at the hands of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Maul's legs were replaced by cybernetics, though the ones he had before his defeat at the hands of Sidious offer no real benefit compared to his flesh and blood legs. While Satele Shan is in extremely good shape for a woman of her years, and still retained a lot of flexibility, Maul still gets a decisive edge in physical ability, as he is younger, tougher, and just as flexible. However, the real benefit of this edge is questionable, as Satele has held off the even more massive Darth Malgus, albeit with noticeable difficulty on her part. Now we compare them as martial artists and lightsaber duelists. Proclaimed a master duelist by Durach, Satele Shan was a highly skilled duelist. Even as a Padawan, she was skilled enough to hold her own against Sith, and as a knight, she was capable of taking down multiple Sith and battle droids at the same time with little difficulty. Though no source confirms her style, we can evaluate her movements and make an educated guess. Due to both her use of the double-bladed lightsaber and her frequent act of chaining in martial and force abilities into her fights, I believe it's evident that Satele specializes in Form 6, Naiman. Naiman is a style that takes bits and pieces from all styles, and is very versatile. It is also a gateway for Zhar Kai dual-blade fencing, which Satele was also quite skilled in, though she did also have skill with the single blade. Overall, Satele was fast and devastating, with a very versatile moveset that made her equipped to deal with several kinds of situations. Darth Maul was a master sword fighter, and dedicated most of his time to improving his dueling skills, with Jedi like Qui-Gon Jinn, Anun Bandara, Dash Aset, and Silo Umbarka as kills of his. Maul's preferred styles were Form 6, Naiman, and Form 7, Zhuyo. As I said before, Naiman is a style that takes bits and pieces from all styles, and heavily incorporates force and martial ability, Maul mainly preferring the martial application. Maul was also quite skilled in Zhar Kai dual-blade fencing, both with his saber staff and with two lightsabers. Also, like Satele, Maul was quite skilled in the use of a single-bladed lightsaber. Form 7, Zhuyo, is the most aggressive form of lightsaber dueling, and heavily relies on completely destroying your enemy with powerful and aggressive strikes, evidented by Maul's sheer rage and determination to destroy his enemy, no matter the cost. When comparing the two combatants, they both have very similar styles. Both are very fast and aggressive duelists with a lot of versatility. While Maul is the more aggressive fighter, I would argue Satele to have more refinement in her styles. Not to mention, Satele does have experience fighting aggressive swordsmen, so Maul isn't really bringing anything new to Satele. However, this would make Maul no less dangerous to her, and I do believe Maul was more skilled than the majority of Sith Satele faced in her day, aside from Malgus, of course. Likewise, they are both very smart duelists, as Satele often takes advantage of her environment, and Maul often leads his opponents into a false sense of security. Since there's no real defining factor here, I declare them equals as martial artists and lightsaber duelists. Now we compare their force abilities. As the descendant of famed Jedi Masters Revan and Bastila Shan, Satele Shan was a very skilled force user, with incredibly well-honed abilities. Her force pushes and shoves were powerful enough to send incredibly huge objects hurtling through the air. She was also very skilled with force speed, and can move faster than even a force user could perceive. She has also shown skill in the Shatterpoint ability, where she is able to see the flaws in objects, and she was even able to use it to cause a steel door to completely shatter. Satele was also quite skilled in the Tuta Minis ability, and was able to block blaster bolts and even catch lightsabers with her bare hands, a feat that noticeably surprised Darth Malgus. Satele's telepathic abilities were also highly advanced, as she was skilled not only with the Jedi mind trick, but was even capable of farsight, to the point where her predictions almost always came true. She was also quite skilled in battle meditation, though it is debatable where she is compared to her ancestor. Satele's most destructive ability, however, was her ability to produce massive force waves, where she gathers force energy into a massive force push. Satele's force waves were so powerful that she not only sent Darth Malgus flying, but actually caused the mountain he hit to completely crumble. Even though Darth Maul mainly focused on his dueling skills, his force abilities were still highly advanced. His force pushes and shoves were strong enough to send very large objects flying. Maul was also quite skilled in force speed and acrobatics, and was able to move faster than even droids could perceive. He was also able to resist telepathic assaults, as when a Black Sun Vigo tried to probe his mind, he went into a coma from insanity. Maul also had a variety of dark side abilities at his disposal. He was very skilled at Force Choke, and can even use it to grapple a person and swing them around with ease. Maul also has some understanding of Force Lightning, to the point where he could resist its power, though this was only effective to a point. However, while he can resist Force Lightning to a point, he cannot create it. While comparing their dueling abilities is difficult, this one is more clear-cut. Satele has far more variety on her side, and a lot of skills Maul would be unprepared for. While Maul is a powerful Force user, Satele's combative applications of the Force completely dwarf his. While Maul has used incredibly powerful Force waves and grips, as he demonstrated when he threw Kenobi around and pulled down a starship from a cliff, both these acts were incredibly situational, as Maul was fueled by his rage over his and Savage's defeat, as well as a desperation to get away. Not to mention, application of the Force has always taken a backseat to martial ability with Maul, while Satele is more willing to use them in conjunction with each other. Combine that with Satele's greater raw power and variety of skills, and I think you could all see the conclusion I'm getting at. Satele Shan gets the edge as a Force user. Now we compare armament and tools. Satele Shan built her current lightsaber after her ascension to Jedi Master. Satele utilized a standard double-bladed lightsaber as her primary weapon, which is interesting considering their relative rarity at the time. It followed the typical archaic design of her era, with a smooth hilt and hand grips at the end. Her weapon also featured a dual action ability, where she was able to activate one blade at a time. A pretty typical setup. Her weapon utilized a pair of blue Adagan crystals as the focusing lenses. Darth Maul likewise utilized a standard double-bladed lightsaber, which he built using designs from old Sith blueprints. It also featured a relatively smooth design, with several hand grips located in various locations, signifying alternate hand placement. Just like Satele's, Maul's weapon has a dual action setting that allows Maul to use one blade at a time. His weapon utilized 4 red synthetic crystals as the focusing lenses. In terms of armament, neither combatant really has a definitive edge over one another. Both of them utilize fairly standard double-bladed lightsabers with similar settings and designs. Both Satele and Maul have also fallen victim to the inherent weaknesses of saber staffs, i.e. their hilts getting sliced in half, which causes one or more of their blades to short out. Since there's no real defining factor here, I declare them equals in armament and tools. And now, the verdict. Both combatants are very skilled duelists and Force users. However, this battle is a real case of the aggressive duelist versus the evasive Force user. I believe this battle would actually play out in a very similar fashion to Satele's second battle with Malgus on Alderaan. The fight would begin with them in a furious lightsaber duel. Due to their similar styles, they would be evenly matched for a great deal of time. However, Maul's aggression and greater physical skill would eventually push Satele back. But the second this happened, Satele would immediately resort to her Force abilities. And while Maul could easily shrug off her telepathic abilities, he would be virtually helpless against her overwhelmingly superior telekinetic assaults, and would get blasted into oblivion. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that Versus series. Please leave suggestions for future Versus series in the comment section below. And as always guys, this is just my opinion, no one else's. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.